Hello and good afternoon. It's Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. Today is Wednesday, midweek. Happy Wednesday, July 29th. So today I'm going to talk with you about how do you handle distractions during a crisis from a business perspective. So what is a crisis? Well, right now we are in a crisis with COVID-19. We're in a crisis where people are having to adjust and pivot to a new normal, doing something differently that we haven't done before. And what I'm doing is something different that I haven't done before, doing a Facebook Live and talking to you all virtually. So, first of all, a crisis such as COVID-19, they cause or it causes distractions from us as leaders, from us as business owners. And crisis actually pulls leaders away from their daily focus. And it pulls our focus away to something else. Whether it's breaking news, because we all see that often there's breaking news, or there's, could be a panic from the stock market. But as we know it today, it is the crisis of COVID-19. So that has caused a distraction in the business world. It's caused a distraction for leaders. Teachers, everyone is in an unrest. We're all trying to figure this out and then trying to figure out what do we do next and how do we get to our normal daily living. So there's three things that leaders, business owners experience when we're going through a crisis. So the first is mind wandering. And that's when we start to think about what could have happened, what should have happened, as opposed to thinking about what's currently happening now. But we're always trying to think, how do you resolve those issues? Should I have done something differently to prevent that? The second is negative thinking. And that's feeling as if something could go wrong, it's going to go wrong. And so negative thinking, we need to try to reverse that and think more positively. And then third, the uncertain anxiety. So that's the fear of the unknown, which amplifies other fears. So you start to think, well, if COVID's happening, what do I do about work? Working from home, doing it remotely, how do you social distance appropriately? How do you still have social interactions with people that you love and care about, your friends and family? So all those things start to happen, and that's all causing all these distractions in our minds. So when we as leaders get distracted, we often lose sight and focus of reality. We sometimes lose touch with hope, and we fall prey to anxiety. And then in turn, the anxiety and the fears that we have, that impacts others around us. So if you have staff, they're feeling some of that pain or anxiety because we feel it. And so we pass that along to others. So, just because we have that fear doesn't mean that we need to, and we shouldn't pass it along to others, but just because one person's sky is falling doesn't mean that your sky has to fall. So we have to think differently about how do we handle what's actually going on at this particular moment. So there are three practical things that you can do as an individual, as a leader, as a business owner, to avoid having a distraction in a crisis or in a time of crisis. So one of the things is staying in a daily routine. So for me, I still get up in the morning early, but not quite as early, but I still get up in the morning. I have my daily schedule. I look to see what's going on for the day. I still have my appointments that I would normally have. I'm just doing them virtually. And so that's an adjustment that I've had to adapt to, pivot into a new normal. So stay with your daily schedule. And even on my schedule, I list, my time for lunch. If I have dentist or doctor's appointments, I'm still trying to get all those things done. Calls with clients, I still have that on my schedule. And so I just block everything off, even blocking off time for, exercise. Personal health is very important, especially during these times. And so we need to make sure that we are blocking off time to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. So staying in your daily routine. Secondly, looking for new ways of doing things. And so, we're all now attending Zoom meetings, and that's the new norm. So you can still continue to do some of those things that you wanted to do before. So looking for new ways of doing things. I've heard people now taking virtual tours or virtual vacations, going to the zoo virtually. So looking at ways to, create the atmosphere so that you can still feel like things are happening normally, but just differently. So, for me, yeah, I'm still doing virtual meetings. I've attended virtual summits, virtual conferences. So I still feel like I'm a part of what's actually happening, but it's just differently. So we have to figure out, how do we network with other people virtually? So using the chat feature is great. But yeah, looking for new ways to do things. We've even had family birthdays. We've had a family baby shower, which was pretty cool. So again, just different ways to adapt to this new cycle that we're dealing in. And thirdly, affirmations. So for those of you who may or may not know, affirmations are statements, positive statements that you say to yourself. I will, or I can. So some people get up in the morning and look in the mirror and they have an affirmation statement that they will say. It gets them going for the day. For me, I read the Daily Word. So it has Bible verses and scriptures, and it really has a message each day, and it helps me get through the day. So that's a way that I do my affirmations. You may find something that works differently for you, but we all need something that gets us going, that kickstart, that gets us going in the mornings. So that affirmation. So just as a quick recap, 3 practical things that you can do to avoid distractions during a time of crisis. Number 1, stay in your routine. Number 2, look for new ways of doing things. And finally, making those affirmations to yourself on a daily basis so that you feel good about yourself. You're not distracted by, all that's going on, the breaking news and, all that kind of stuff that you see every day. But, be consistent in what you do and just follow through. And I think that will help you, as well as has helped me, continue to lead and be a leader and business owner through these times of crisis. So hopefully that was helpful for you today. And yes, I was looking at a few notes. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. But hopefully that was helpful for you, just to share a couple of things around, dealing with crisis, leading through crisis. COVID-19 is here. I do expect that it will probably be here through end of year. So, continue to plan those special celebrations, continue to run your business, but we're running it differently, or you'll be running it differently. Continue to connect with your staff. Keep positive motivation going. Keeping your staff engaged is so critical during this particular time. People having to work remotely, they may feel isolated. So you want to, as a leader, if you have staff, you want to bring those individuals in through group discussions, making sure that they are sticking to their daily schedules so they can remain positive. And also, as a leader, make sure that you are empathizing with what your teams are going through. Individuals may not always express how they're feeling, so we want to have empathy and show empathy as a leader. So again, hopefully this has been very helpful for you today. So as leaders, as a business owner, our goal is to get through this crisis and lead effectively, communicate effectively also, so that we can continue to be better leaders of our organization and continue to lead effectively with our staff. So thank you for joining me, Linda Jordan with LRJ Coaching and Business Solutions. If you would like a free consult with me, I will post my link directly above the video. And so it's a 30-minute free consultation. So again, thank you for your time and attention today, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.